Begin transmission.
You are listening to Corellian Run Radio, your route through hyperspace to the latest news on Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Hi, and welcome to Corellian Run Radio. This is episode 142, and we're recording Sunday, April the 12th, 2015. My name is Jason, and I'm joined by my co-host, Heather. Howdy, Heather.
Hey, Jason.
So, Heather, how are you doing?
Oh, gosh, really good. Just raiding with my guild. I've been trying to go more to doing the 16-man raids, because usually I don't go to that. I just do my 16, or my 8-man raids. But this past week, we were trying to take over Belsavis, and for some reason, we still haven't gotten number 1 on there, even though we pretty much have every single other planet at number 1. I know, I'm like crying about being number 1, and some guilds have like not even hit the top 10.
Yeah, some of us have only hit like one planet maybe, and Heather and them are like, oh, we need one more planet to get the whole thing. So,
yeah.
that's still pretty cool, though.
I've been trying to do that, and I went out to brunch today with Brian from Bad Feeling Podcast, so that was really cool. Hopefully I can see Chuck, because he's going to be in Las Vegas tonight too, but he's only coming for 2 days, so I don't know if they're going to have time to see me. But yeah, that was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool to meet people from the community in person.
Of course, you live in Vegas. I mean, everybody be like, hey, I want to stop by.
Here, yeah, so it's really easy.
I'll stop by. It's in Vegas. Sure, cool.
So what's going on with you?
Well, I have been pretty busy, but trying to get some stuff done with the website and stuff like that. In fact, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to Community Buzz. Quick mention and stuff like that, because we have a new writer, so it's kind of helping him get along. So, yeah, we'll be talking about Joe later. But yeah, so had that going on, and then I did get some gameplay in. I'm working on another sniper, because I already had one, and I was really wanting to try out another spec, trying out the Virulence spec, which is more of a dot kind of thing. So, and I noticed that a lot of people were mentioning it for some of the fights in the new operations where you have to do a lot of moving, so I can throw on some dots and keep moving around. So I'm leveling him up. I've got him to 32, and he's on Alderaan. So
wow.
I
usually give up at level 15 when I try something new.
I've had this guy for a long time, and so I was like, I was kind of going around, but kind of slow at it. But then I heard about double XP weekend that'll be coming up, so I'm getting them all ready. So I'm getting some other alts that I need to ding out at 60, and hopefully, my goal is to kind of get him at 60. So by the end of the XP bonus stuff. So that's kind of what I've had going on. My nephew and a couple people were in his guild. They were needing some help with. They wanted to run a quick thing. They hadn't done it. We couldn't get anybody else, which is crazy. We did a Karagas Palace, so we four-manned it. So.
Oh yeah, you can definitely four-man that.
Well, consider me my nephew two-manned it the last time, so it was like, okay. So yeah. So
we do have a special guest on the show with us today.
We do?
Yeah. His name is Tate Watson. He is a community production coordinator with BioWare Austin. Hey, Tate.
Never heard of him.
How you doing, Tate?
Hi. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, how has your week been going? Any exciting things in game that you're allowed to tell us about?
No. Oh no, but things were great. It was a good week. Good week. Lots going on.
Cool. Well, we'll get into some news, and then we'll talk a little bit more to you. But if there's anything you want to peep in and just pop in and contribute to before then, yes.
Witty remarks and whatnot.
You're up for witty remarks. All right, so let's go ahead and get a little bit into the news.
From the Newsnet and beyond.
Yeah, in the news, one of the things, of course, it's been April, a new month. We're in April now, and BioWare, as per usual, they had their April Fool's Day kind of gag with all of us. Did you get a chance to check that out?
Yeah. Oh my god, that video on the stream is super cool. Is it a GIF?
What's that?
A GIF or a video?
Yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, haha, the log mount stationary.
the stationary mount, I love
And
that.
then the tiny one is that like a mouse droid or something? That's silly, especially compared to the big Rancors and stuff people are running around with everywhere.
I would tell it but the big sandcrawler, that would be awesome. That just I'm rolling into town, rolling not past the trash, rolling over the trash mobs. That's what exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that was interesting that we went on for April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the asteroid ship.
I would totally
Oh,
love
my.
the asteroid ship.
Yeah, that was a good one last year.
What about you, Tate? You got a stationary mount?
No, but I can tell you there was a bunch of those pictures taken, and Eric Musco thought every single one of them was the funniest thing ever done. And there was a lot of eye rolling from me about that.
Aw.
Because dude was all about his stationary mounts and his Kaizyken.
Oh. Who comes up with the jokes? Do you guys all just like have a
This
meeting?
one-
Like, what's our April Fool's joke this year?
We met with a few people and kind of did a small round table and made a whole list of options. And this is the one that came out of it. And I believe this was Musco and one of the other guys in the meeting were talking about this, and that's what came out of it. And then, of course, Musco decided to slap Kaizyken on top of it. And that's where it came from.
Kaizyken is Eric Musco, isn't it?
I would not be surprised if Charles Boyd told me that Kaizyken was Eric Musco.
Like Kaiser Soze? No, just kidding.
Right, exactly.
It totally fits though. If you get the story on Rishi and stuff like that, he's so funny. Oh well, let's see. That was about it on the April Fool's Day, which I thought was pretty funny. They always tend to have a little joke there. Let's see. We're coming up in some more news. The deadline for registration for the Community Cantina in Anaheim will be the 16th.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I went ahead and registered online. I guess we get some little perks or goodies if we pre-register first. So I just did it, and it's also nice because you can see on that registration thing all the other where all the other cantinas are going to be at. Because I'm not sure if you guys actually officially mentioned those. I know you sent the fan site email a while back, but I'm not sure if you actually said where each of the thing is going to be at. So it's kind of nice just seeing where each of the cantinas are at, especially, and people keep asking about PAX Australia, and, I kind of know the answer to that.
The random other
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, so I went ahead and registered for that, and we'll have that in our show notes, the link to register if you are going to the Community Cantina in Anaheim, which I will be going, and I think Tate will be going too.
Tate will be going. I've also registered.
You did.
I did, actually. I was the one who tested it. Made sure it worked.
Oh, okay.
You're
Good man,
welcome.
Thanks for testing.
So now, what all it goes into registering there, Heather, for those of you that haven't?
Oh, it's pretty easy. You just log in to switcher.com on your, on your username, and I couldn't find the link from just clicking around, so I actually had to click the link from when Musco tweeted it, and then I just clicked a button and it said I was registered. So maybe, I don't know, I haven't been to the website in a couple days, so maybe you guys should make that more visible on the website.
The reason you couldn't find it, clicking around, is because it's not there yet.
Then how are people supposed to register?
Don't worry, we are adding it.
Okay.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
when Web is
yeah.
going to update that, but we are adding it to the community.
Okay, good. So I wasn't like crazy.
No, you weren't crazy. Well, maybe a little, but
Yeah.
it's for good reason.
Well, we have something else going on with Star Wars Celebration too.
We do? What
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. Well, it says there's a double XP week through April 16th through the 22nd. Is that true?
So true.
So true?
So
Whew.
true.
And it's not just a weekend. It is
No,
a
it is a
week.
full week. And I was very surprised when I was writing those notes. I was like, this seems weird. Why is it on a Thursday? And then I figured it out and felt real dumb.
That's awesome. A whole week.
Great story, right?
Great story.
Yeah, I probably won't be leveling anything just because I only play my one character and my one spec. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone can pull my teeth and I'll get my other characters to level 60. And I don't know. But Jason, I think you're leveling something, right?
Yeah, my sniper level 32, and I'm hoping my goal is by the 22nd to easily have the sniper 260. So I don't know how geared he'll be, but we'll hopefully get that up there. Definitely going to get that, and probably ding out a couple more 60s because I got a couple there in the 56, 57. I'm just like, okay. Go ahead and run through Yavin and McKeb probably and finish them up. How about you, Tate? You got any plans for your double XP? Are you hoping to get any gameplay in for that?
I am, and I haven't decided if I'm going to work on my Marauder or my Bounty Hunter yet. But one of the two, not sure which order. In case I finish one, I obviously need to have another one to go to, but I'm not sure. Probably my Marauder.
Oh, Power Tech or Mercenary, though, if you go the Bounty Hunter way.
Mercenary.
Mercenary.
I have a Mercenary. She doesn't get very much use.
Mine's
She
actually
should, though.
Mine's like 30 something. At this point.
So what spec you running?
I just switched to a healing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about for the Marauder? Which one were you planning on doing for that?
Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Yeah. I just like the name of it.
Yeah.
It's so definitive.
What's your favorite class otherwise? I mean, we're not going to try and track you down in game, maybe.
Maybe.
But what's your favorite class to play?
I have two mains and that I bounce back and forth between, and that is a Deception Assassin and a Medicine Operative.
Really?
So I don't know what I like both equally. It really depends on what I'm doing. In PvP, I prefer healing on my operative to stabbing people with my Sin, but for PvE, I always go Deception.
My nephew's been switching from his tank spec assassin, trying out the Deception, and he really likes it. Switching to doing more damage, raids and stuff like that. He really likes it.
Yeah, I started as a tank, and then I don't know why I switched. I just did one day, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's what he gets a real kick out of now. It's like, because before it'd be like he was just like barely hitting anything, but he could take a bunch of damage, but it's like he didn't feel like he was doing much of anything. So he likes doing that other role. I mean, he loves tanking, but
Actually dishing it out.
yeah, exactly.
What spec do you play in PvP for your assassin?
I play Deception, just all around. I actually don't play.
Woo!
Heather, what spec do you play?
I play a Deception Assassin. You know what?
Woo!
You
Way
know,
to go, Heather.
Brian from Bad Feeling Podcast, he plays a Deception Assassin too. So it's like I have this little club of people I know that play the class. Like these are my people.
These are my people. The Deception Assassins unite. Heather's
We
the
didn't
leader.
betray Deception and go to Hatred. We stayed.
You know, I just don't even care to try the spec because I just like the Deception so much. But
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Hatred, as far as how it plays.
is that why you
much
nerfed it?
prefer-
I can anticipate questions now.
Oh,
You know,
Tate's like, yep.
I absolutely had everything to do with that. What
Yeah,
being a combat designer and all.
Yeah, because Tate is really in charge of class balance, guys. Not. Well, speaking of that, maybe we should.
Speaking
start
of
getting
that,
into
let's
interview
go ahead and
questions.
jump into
Yeah.
maybe the community buzz here real quick and get a little bit more into knowing Tate. So like we've already been talking to Tate here, he is the community production coordinator from BioWare Austin, and we brought him in to have I guess it would two-part of the community team interview process. So we had
Yeah.
Eric, and now we've got Tate. So
Yeah, he's the second Musco tier, apparently, to Eric Musco.
That's my understanding of it,
Yeah.
at least.
The Musketeers.
So,
Oh, I get it.
so tell us, what do you do for Bioware? What exactly is a community production coordinator, and how long have you been doing that?
I have been with BioWare since last January, so however many months that is now. And what I actually do is all over the place. I do a whole lot of things. My core responsibilities is I manage the bug report forums, create bugs in our system out of community contacts. So people send me emails or I get messages on Reddit or on the bug report forums. That's a terrible picture. I got distracted by how bad this picture you just put up of me is.
You know, you can. Who did we post a bad picture of recently? Was it Snicker or
Snicker.
Goken? It was Snicker that had the good
Goken
picture.
had one. Here, I got this one.
We have the one picture from you and me at the cantina, right?
Yes,
Actually, I don't like
right
that
there.
picture because it's really dark, so that one's a bad picture too.
Okay, guys, if you guys
No,
don't
it's
like
okay.
him,
You can post it.
no,
You can post it though. It doesn't matter.
please submit
But
your
yeah,
photos.
tell us,
No,
tell us more about your job.
So yeah, I make the bugs in our system, as well as I do a lot of advocating for what the hot topics or the hot issues are in the community as far as bugs. For example, combat medic set bonuses. So I have a lot of meetings with the dev team saying, hey, here's what players really want to see fixed. And that is taken into consideration by them when they prioritize bugs and things like that. Outside of bugs, I do a lot of the website publishing. So anytime an article goes up, you see me post about it on the forums. It's because I've just toiled away for a while getting everything set up in the back end, creating the images for it, coordinating with multiple teams to make sure the page about the thing comes up at the same time as the article, that kind of thing. And I also do a lot of fake producery type tasks, like, for example, run the maintenance for PTS on the back end, coordinate with like our DevOps team to get servers up and running at the same time, things like that.
So will we see you as a future live producer since Amber got moved on?
I don't think so, but it's a fun little diversion from what I normally do. Basically, I sit there and go, okay, do this now. Right now, this.
So what happens exactly once we tell you about a bug? Either we report it in game or through the forums, social media, Reddit. Do you send an email to the devs? Put it on a spreadsheet? Do you have like a whiteboard that you guys, this is broken?
My whiteboard is dedicated to game update schedule, which I'm not going to talk about. But what happens is, so we'll just use a fake bug. I go into the forums, I see a bug. I go, that sounds bad. And then I pull up one of our internal pieces of software, and I type, here's this bad bug. And it gives it a number, and then that goes directly to our QA department. And they attempt to reproduce the bug. And once it's reproduced, that goes to the appropriate team on the dev side. And then they triage it themselves, which is prioritize it. They prioritize it amongst themselves, as well as within the larger dev team. There's like 2 or 3 levels of triage, and then they fix it, and it gets marked. And then at the end of this cycle, I go into the same piece of software I put the bug into, and I click whatever patch I'm writing the notes for, and it says, here's all the things that are fixed in this patch. And then I write them, and then I publish them. And that's how a bug is made.
So do you know like how they prioritize? Because I know you said that they do it amongst themselves, but do you know kind of what their priorities are? Like what's game breaking, what's not, what's important?
Really depends on there's not really a set criteria because resource allocation changes every day, depending on it's a live service, so they have to adjust and compensate and things like that. Game-breaking bugs, like, for example, low slash, obviously took very high priority because we couldn't allow that to live for very long. So that was done as soon as we possibly could, whereas something smaller might not get prioritized as high. But really, it depends on the resources that are currently available. And a lot of that will change because even sometimes really high priority bugs get pushed down because of other things, because resources have to be allocated elsewhere.
Now you mentioned about them needing to reproduce the bug.
Mm-hmm.
Is if it's not able to be reproduced by them. Is that why they need so many details and stuff when you write out your ticket?
Yep. The more details we can get, the faster we can reproduce it. Even if, like, we'll go and look at something, and even if we can't reproduce it right away, we will continue to kind of look at it and see what we can do and different things we can try to make it reproduce. But the more details we have, the faster we can reproduce it, the faster it can move on in the system and get fixed.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So this is kind of me being a little troll here, but so did you personally test out the low slash since you play a deception assassin in PvP?
No, I didn't. I thought about it, but I should have. I could have logged onto a dev shard and tried
Yeah,
to
I'd be like, yep, this is definitely broken, guys.
No, that one I saw a video on Reddit.
Oh, okay.
It was actually on Reddit long before it was on the forums, so we saw it there, and it was already being looked into before it appeared on the forums.
Oh, okay. So since you guys are on Reddit, or since you are at least, what's the best way for us to report the bugs? I mean, obviously we should report it in game. Is that the fastest way or best way, or is there?
So that's two doors to the same process. The slash bugs that you create, where I create the bug in the system and it goes to QA. The slash bugs go to QA and they create the bug in the system. So it's two doors to the exact same hallway. But to report it to me personally, any way you can contact me is fine. But really what you should do is put in a slash bug and report it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because then when it goes to QA, I can say, hey, here's this thing people are talking about, and they say, I'm seeing this too. Let's dive on this.
Yeah, I know you did that one post about how to do a bug report. I
I was
like,
really
wow,
excited
we
because
really
I got
need
to say best damn bug report.
So, is there anything that you can tell us about the future of the game? Anything that you could possibly say about what you're working on, or anything that we don't already know? Or
Nothing I wouldn't get fired for. No,
We won't
no,
tell.
we have okay, as long as you guys won't tell. I don't think anyone else is listening.
I
so-
know, yeah, not like
So
the 50
shh.
people watching us.
Yeah, no. We are working on some great stuff coming this year that we're real excited to share with you. That is all I can say.
All right, so you guys heard it. He can't say. People are always like, how come you guys don't talk about anything new? And I'm like, well, I can't help it. So, but
he
let's
doesn't
get
wanna
into
get fired.
some funner questions.
I like my job.
Paychecks are nice.
Yeah. They keep my nerdy hobbies in check.
What are your nerdy hobbies?
Oh, name one. Like right now, scattered across my desk, I have, scattered across my living room, I have probably 3 or 4 grand worth of Warhammer 40K figures.
Wow.
So yes, don't make me lose my job because I need to keep buying these things so the Games
my
Workshop
God.
doesn't go under.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's creating jobs, folks, on his own. So, how did you get in the video game industry?
So I originally, I worked at BioWare before all this, which is a fun anecdote. I was working as a social media person at a company that recruited for engineering firms. So like helicopter companies that needed an aerospace engineer to work on their new rotor blades or something. I would go and try to find them. And so I went into that position and it was awful. And so I decided I'm going to change the job I'm doing here. And so I started doing social media for them because they weren't really doing that. And once I started doing that for a while and I kind of had experience, I actually applied to BioWare as a social media, just a representative. Like my entire job was I sit on Twitter and respond. And I did that actually under my then boss, Eric Musco, for a few months. And this was right after launch. And as everyone who was around at the time remembers, right after launch, there was a bunch of layoffs. So I actually got laid off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then after that, I went and worked at Blizzard for a while.
You
And
did?
then- I did.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I worked at Apple doing
Oh.
tech support for them because I did tech support at technical and account stuff at Blizzard.
That actually sounds like a rough job, tech support at Apple.
It's actually really, really easy.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all proprietary hardware setups. So you always know what's wrong. It's never like, oh, you're using this weird thing, so it's this. It's always the same stuff, so it's really easy. And so I was doing that for a while, and then since this current position I am in now opened up, and it kind of required a slightly more technical background than your standard community fare would because at the beginning of the job, that's all I did was bugs. I didn't do any of the PTS stuff. I didn't do any of the other things I do now. It was almost entirely bugs and tech stuff. So that is when I got that job, and that is how I got started in video games. I guess before that I had worked on like indie projects that didn't go anywhere.
What are your future goals in the game industry?
Oh, that is an excellent question. There was a time when I wanted to own my own studio, but that has since passed. Right now I'm actually very happy with where I am, and I would love to stay in community. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that no one really sees, both in BioWare and EA, that all have to do with community PR, that kind of stuff, and it's actually very fascinating how all that's done. So I would probably like to see some of that in my future.
Just a quick question that's kind of related. So you were mentioning the tweets. Who does the tweets from SWTOR and the Instagram and all that? Is that you and Nick and Musco?
The social media channels, so the tweets, we do a lot of it. It's actually kind of split between us and our marketing department as for who writes it. But that's kind of all coming back under community purview. Right now we're kind of transitioning that, and they are written by someone on the community team at any given time. And if there's ever a response from the Twitter account, which is rare because we just don't have the time to do it, it's always signed. So if it's from Eric Musco, it'll be signed EM, or if it's
yeah.
TW.
I liked when Courtney would do her CW. I'd be like, oh, yay. But
she was doing it a whole lot there for a while.
Yeah, the players, they really like that. So, if there's one wish, we wish that you guys could interact with us more.
And it's definitely something we want to do. We actually had a meeting last week, saying, here, what can we do? How can we interact more there? So it's something we're aware of and we're working on, and we definitely want to do. As we now have Nick, as you've mentioned, it does free up me and Musco slightly more. So you'll see some of that coming.
That's good. That's good to hear. So as we were getting ready for this interview, I had to put on my Stalker-esque kind of hat and look up some stuff. And I come across an art page. And I understand you went to school as an artist, is that correct?
That is correct. I started at the Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. And at first I studied game art and 3D animation, and then switched to graphic design.
That's cool. So
it is
any
cool.
future
I don't do that.
Any future plans with that, or is that just a hobby, or now?
I am just educated enough in art to be obnoxious about it. Then I'm like, oh, this font is terrible. And then I have absolutely no credence behind it. I'm just like, I just don't like that font. Listen to me. I studied graphic design. And that's all I do with art now.
I know you said you update some of the stuff on the website. So is it someone else that's doing the little graphics for stuff? Or do you just put something quickly together, like double XP weekend, go?
That is actually done in a different department.
Okay.
Sometimes we take screenshots within the community department. I'm trying to think of an example of a time that I've taken screenshots. It's happened, but I can't think of a time. But that's actually done. We're actually supplied with everything. It's like here's your nice little bundle of stuff. This goes on the website.
Okay, that's kind of nice then. Less work for you.
Yeah. Well, I still have to resize it and all that fun stuff, but it does cut down.
So, back into the game as far as SWTOR, what would you say probably is your favorite moment in playing this game?
I can't say it without spoiling the story.
See now,
it's when he joined the guild Despair on the Harbinger. I'm just kidding,
What a
guys.
great moment.
I'd know if he was in my guild, right?
Would you?
Would I?
Oh, maybe not.
I've been in a lot of guilds and no one has ever caught me. I know. Looking at you, Guildmasters.
No.
Calling you out.
Oh, is that a call out? Oh, man.
No. Do you do the voice modulator thing? Because I know, I think Eric has said that he's a girl in his guild, right? Or am I just making something up?
Oh
or
my
is that
gosh.
real? I swear.
I don't know.
Wow, this just spun out way.
No. I swear he said that.
I don't know how he handled it. I just don't talk and vent.
The opinions of Heather are no longer. No, just.
Jason does not condone the things said by his co-host.
Heather's on her own. No.
No, I don't use voice modulation. I just don't talk. Also, if anyone was going to recognize my voice,
They'd
it
have
wouldn't.
to really be like paying attention.
Yeah, Musco's much more likely to be. He also has a more distinct voice. I feel like more squirrely. I said it. He sounds like a squirrel.
He has a very recognizable voice. So.
I hope he's listening. If so, Musco, I'm sorry. But
He's
also
totally
not
going to
really.
listen to this. You know that.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be like,
gonna
"What
change
is this?
his
What are
voice
you?"
modulator back to like a man. It's like, oh man, she caught me.
I have heard him use a voice modulator to make himself sound like a squirrel, and that was hilarious. And it was the best thing that has ever happened.
So, let's see. What do we. Favorite class? Did we narrow that down?
Oh
Yeah.
God! Oh gosh! So there's this. I guess there's some kind of running joke in the Swifter community that we don't ask hardcore questions. We just ask what people's favorite color is, and I don't remember ever asking what people's favorite colors are. So you know what? Let me just make that true and say, Tate, what is your favorite color?
It's green, and I have an anecdote I would like to share to you.
Please do.
I will. It's coming right now. When I first started back in last January, shortly after, I actually got a PM on the forum, someone asking me what my favorite color was. And I was like, why are you asking me my favorite color? And so they asked me, I was like, it's green. And it turns out they wanted to make like a coffee mug in my favorite color.
Oh, how cute!
I never got the coffee mug.
What?
Yeah, it never happened.
They totally
That's
asked your color.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, that's weird.
Thought is, where's my coffee mug?
They were trying to send it to you, but like the
That's true.
security at
Security.
Byron Austin was like, nope.
Nope. They actually asked the hex code. Like I was like green, and they're like more of a, and they gave me a hex code, and they gave a few, and I was like, well, it's more like this one.
Yeah, so that's a weird question. I
Yes.
mean, if Tate actually got the mug, I think it would have been a valid question. But yeah, that's weird. So from now on, we are not going to be asking anyone what their favorite color is because I've never done it, and this is a one-time thing, guys.
Well, maybe you could start asking it, but also send coffee mugs.
Just send the coffee mug.
Then it's okay.
You
But
know, I shipped
somebody-
my coffee mug.
But somebody in the community wanted to know that, though.
That's true. Yeah,
So,
someone
alright.
wanted to know, so it's a valid question.
So it's a valid question.
And I've only answered it privately to someone, and as far as I know, they never published it publicly.
So now green coffee mugs will be showing up at BioWare Austin.
Yeah, please tweet your hex code favorite color.
I'll have to find it again.
Oh my.
I will, though.
Well, let's go in. We're going to switch to kind of a new segment. We start out with Eric. We're going to switch to our rapid shot Q&A.
Ooh.
So
Has this
now
been the
these
slow
are going to be
Q&A?
kind of like real quick questions. We're going to ask. We're going to alternate asking questions, and it's going to be kind of. They're not really hard hitting questions, so we just kind of answer them as fast as possible. So,
Okay.
okay, what is your favorite Star Wars book?
Annihilation. It's in our lobby at work.
Nice one.
What's your favorite Star Wars film?
I guess the second one, but what I really mean is Episode 5. Empire
Okay.
Strikes Back. Best
Okay.
one.
Good answer.
If you say anything else, you're wrong.
Okay.
Which faction, Empire or Republic?
Empire.
Yay!
Though I will say, I know this is rapid fire, and I'm slowing you down, and I'm sorry.
Gun Jam.
Having rewatched the original trilogy again, I kind of feel bad about that. But I still am Empire. But I feel bad about it.
Okay.
Who's your favorite fleet commander, Tarkin or Akbar?
Akbar.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
Dude has a very heightened sense of trap awareness. He's obviously a rogue.
Oh my gosh. Okay, which weapon? Lightsaber or blaster?
Dual-bladed lightsaber.
Ooh,
Oh,
specific.
yeah.
Listen to you. So then we can go to your favorite class is
It's assassin.
Yay! See, guys, people like assassins.
people like assassins. Well, that's
She's met 3 of them now.
she's met 3 of them, especially 3 deception assassins. So that's going to wrap up the Rapid Shot edition.
Oh, it was so rapid.
That was so rapid; it went by so quick.
I'm impressed.
All right. So, anything else you wanted to ask him for now? I mean, this is really just a meet and greet with Tate Watson, not a SWTOR Q&A. That will definitely come later from us, hopefully next week or so.
I was about to say, I fully expect you to have a list of questions this weekend.
Yeah. People just don't be disappointed. Last time I had serious questions. I had 2 pages, so... I just get so stressed out. People are like, oh my God, ask a question. And I'm like,
She's got the questions, folks.
I got the questions, guys. You just not the right place to ask that.
98% of the questions, I'd just be like, you need to talk to someone else. So at least at the cantina, it can be like, go talk to that guy over there.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather's going to be signing up for the, like, there's going to be a meet and greet, right, with where people sign that NDA, right, Tate?
Shh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
At the thing?
Womp.
What? Are you going to... Well, anybody knows that the community cantinas are a little more relaxed atmosphere, and people are going to be more apt to answer things like that. So
That is very true.
So that's where
That is very true.
Heather will get probably and hopefully get some more of her questions answered. So we will have those
stay
answers.
tuned, guys.
Stay tuned. So Heather will report all those back. So
You better, Heather. I'm counting on you. How am I supposed to find out the answers to these things?
he's got you there, Heather.
And make a valid point.
Well, we want to thank Tate for stopping by for
Oh, absolutely.
this quick little interview. We appreciate it. We know you got a busy week and everything like that. So
Well, yes, and thank you for having me, though. It really took... It was fun, is the word I'm looking for. I was going to go into some long tirade, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you could right now. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's the moment's past, Heather. It's over.
the
Man.
moment's passed. Oh, I did have one question that
What is
I
it?
know that you're not probably the one to ask, but maybe you can pass it along, because I had Eric pass along something about something I saw in the PTS, so I'm going to keep my thing going here. The mission log.
Okay,
Could we get it expanded, maybe?
I'll pass that along.
I
But it
appreciate
is
it.
definitely
No, I
something...
think we asked that before, and it was like a performance issue that if everyone had expanded. Sorry, Jason, I'm like raining on your parade, but if everyone
Thanks,
had like
Heather,
an
go ahead.
expanded mission log, then it would overload the server or something.
There's definitely probably issues with it. There's a lot of kind of weird issues, like, for example, guild limitations and things like that are in place to avoid situations like we had when we first went to Group Finder at 16-man. We had issues with it. That is probably why it's there. I don't know 100% that that's why it is, but it's something I could probably find out the answer to. How about this, Heather? I'll find out. You ask me this weekend, and I'll answer.
All right.
Put that on your list.
I've had it on my list before, though.
What? Put it back.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Anything else?
We want to thank you. Definitely, it was nice to have it, just a sit-down interview with Tate, so thanks a lot. Catch you later.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Tate.
That was pretty cool having Tate on there, so
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
pretty cool guy. So we had a few little shout-outs we're going to do. And so I was going along this past week, and I came across video on a secret pet on CZ198 that I thought I was like, man, I thought I had got most of the stuff there. And actually, if you go around with your macro binoculars, you start scanning these different like data pads, and you come across as little emails, and you have to scan each one of them, and there's like 8 of them you have to find.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they're actually emails. It's not just like, oh, it comes up, oh, you found an email. It's actually, if you read them, it's like you're in an office and you're reading somebody's email. Like some of them are spam, some are about some different things that are going on in the business and stuff like that. And you actually come across, and after you get the 8, it'll come across and it'll actually pop up a reward. And you get a little pet, a Zerka themed pet and stuff like that. So, and you also get some a rep token and stuff to turn in like that. So it's pretty cool. I came across that.
That's something Easter eggy, I guess.
Yeah, it was Raina X came across that. I'll link the video and her Twitter. It was somebody found that, and they're actually from South America, which is pretty cool. So there's no talking in the video or anything like that, but it was neat that they have the video there, and it kind of gives you a guide on where to find these different 8 data pads, and they're scattered all over the CZ198 area. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't take that long. Basically, while you're going around doing your round of dailies, if you're still doing those on CZ198, you can find these real quick and have another little pet. So, and it looks just like the one big walking droids that are going around there. So, but that was kind of cool. So, a little shout out on that is something I found out during the week. So, and we mentioned earlier during the week too, of things that were going on around here, and we have a new writer.
Yeah. Really excited to bring him on. We have Joey, who's in the chat room right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He said, yes, I have that pet.
Awesome.
So we're really happy to have Joey on the team, or on Joe. I'm not sure if he likes Joey or Joe, but
either way, it's great to have him on the staff. And he wrote his first edition of his new article titled "Looking for Group." And on this one, he actually is talking about the Ratghoul Resurgence event and some things he would like to see changed on it. So it's kind of cool. It was really well written and stuff like that. So well done. And I'm sure he will be, it's going to be more of an opinion piece and things like that on things he would like to see change, with a constructive spin on that. So yeah, I'm sure if you have any ideas or anything like that, or any opinions or something like that, look at his article, and we'll have a link for that in the show notes, and probably hit him up, send some comments, stuff like that. You can find him on his Twitter, which that will be in the show notes also.
So let's go to our quick mentions. Are we ready for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're a guild looking to get your guild noticed, why not contact us about being on a guild ready check? If you're interested, you can send an email to corellianrun@gmail.com or heather@prettylittlesith.com.
We want to thank all the guilds that have contacted us, and we'll make sure and stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some new guild ready checks. So if you're out there as a guild, definitely get in touch with Heather. We'll get you on the podcast and get a recording. So don't forget to look for the great articles on CRR this week. Like I was saying, Joe's article, Looking for Group, the Ratghoul Resurgence, is on the website, and we'll have that linked in the show notes. Please take a moment to leave us a positive feedback on iTunes. You can also subscribe to our podcast or your favorite podcast app.
If you'd like to contact us or have any questions or ideas for discussion topics, email us at corellianrun@gmail.com. Oh, still me. You can also follow and tweet us on Twitter at corellianrun. My personal Twitter handle is @Heather_PLS, and Jason is @JT_HollowNet. If you're on Facebook, you can like our Facebook group. What did I say? Facebook page, and join our Facebook group. You can also leave a voicemail for us on the website, corellianrun.com, or our Facebook page that could possibly be featured on the show. Finally, if you'd like to be a writer like Joe or submit content for our website, send an email to jason@corellianrun.com. And to answer a chat room question real quick, we did interview Snicker from Zor, so does that count as a guild ready check? I think that counts as us already talking to Zors on this show. So you'll have to look back. That was maybe a few episodes ago that we did that.
And that's going to wrap it up for us here at Corellian Run Radio. Now, if they do want to like our Facebook, great. Heather, that's fine. You want to thank all our fans and followers and the loyal listeners that tune in, and especially all you guys that joined us in the chat room today. Until next time, I'm Jason.
I'm Heather. May the force be with you, or keep those blasters by your side, kid.
You've been listening to Corellian Run Radio, a Star Wars The Old Republic podcast. Tune in next time to hear Heather say,
Tate's favorite color is green.
End transmission.